Hello, and this is Generation Catalano, and this is our post E3 show. I'm Josh, and I'm here with David.
Hey guys.
And it's only me and David this episode.
Yeah, once again.
David, you've been playing Castlevania?
On Xbox. Josh, Kevin, and I have been playing on Castlevania pretty much almost every day this week. And we just go through trying to collect items we haven't gotten so far and like really rare things that are pretty hard to get. And that's basically what I've been doing. Every so often I'll play Mario Kart with my friend Brigham. Me and him play Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS. Quite a bit. It's pretty much what I've been playing. I haven't really been playing much of anything else.
Yeah, I've only been playing some random virtual console stuff, and I played a couple of 3DS demos. The first one I tried was Mutant Mudds.
Yeah, I saw something about that game. It caught my eye. I was going to get the game, but I never did. But I haven't played the demo yet, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was surprised to see a demo on the shop, but it's kind of like a platforming game and also kind of like a shooting game, kind of like Mega Man.
Yeah.
And you also have a jetpack, but it's very temporary, and it basically just helps you get across, far gaps.
Mm-hmm. Does it have like any RPG elements in it?
I don't think so. The demo just had it had the first level for 4 different worlds, so each world was harder than the one before.
Mm-hmm.
It really reminds me of Mega Man a lot. It's pretty fun. They do interesting things with the 3D kind of stuff, and your character can jump to like the foreground or the background. And
that's cool.
yeah, besides the Mutant Mudds demo, I was trying this other demo called Order Up, which is some game where you gotta make food at a fast food place.
Yummy.
The demo's okay because it's kind of an endless demo, but I'm assuming if you bought the game, maybe it would get more difficult. You just wait for like a customer to show up, and then you have to put like burgers on a grill or fries in a deep fryer, and you have to take the burgers off the grill in the right amount of time, or the fries out of the deep fryer in the right amount of time.
It's called Order Up.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun. I've been playing the demo a lot.
That sounds interesting. I always thought about like getting like a game kind of like that where you gotta stay on track and take like orders and stuff like that.
Yeah, I played another game that's kind of similar on the PS3 called Diner Dash.
I heard about that game, but I never did try it.
At least with Diner Dash, you have to sit people at a table, and then after a certain amount of time has passed, they're gonna ask to place an order, and then they're going to ask to have their table cleaned, and then they're going to ask for their bill. And you have to keep people moving in the diner.
Yeah.
Sometimes those games are fun, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. It's only been it's been like a week now since we did our last show.
Yeah, so there really isn't much of a huge update with what we've been playing. I haven't really been playing Minecraft lately, but I don't know. I might jump back on there.
Alright, so we're just going to get into the E3 stuff. We'll start off with Microsoft, because their conference came first.
Yeah, the Monday, I believe early Monday morning, they had their conference, and I don't know, overall, I think they did okay, but there's nothing really fascinating that they were talking about. I know a big influence on their show was that, the smart glass or something like that, where you're completely always like synced in with like you can have anything like on your mobile devices or...
Yeah, Microsoft claims with the device you already have, you can use their open glass thing, which is basically like using a tablet to control things in a game like Madden. Like you'd pick your plays on the tablet.
Yeah.
And for the new Halo game, they're going to have stats and like the Halo waypoint thing.
Yeah, Halo waypoint, just like right on your device here.
Microsoft's trying to say that it works on the device you already have, but I don't know if that means it'll work on like an iPhone. It might only be for Windows Phone or Windows Tablet.
I think they said something about the iPhone. Like, I think they're trying to incorporate it over a wide array of different devices. Yeah, it does kind of harken to where they're trying to rival with the Wii U. They have you just have a tablet right there in your hands that you control your game with.
Yeah, it does seem like they're they're feeling pressure from Nintendo or something to do this tablet thing. I don't know. It makes me think. It makes me wonder if Nintendo maybe predicted stuff like a trend that was going to happen. Because of because maybe Nintendo just looked at all the technology out there, and they don't have their own tablet, of course, so it's not like they could do what Microsoft did, or I mean, but Nintendo, of course, would come out with their own shit, like their own controller.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, Nintendo is smart. Like, they don't try to overcompensate or try to throw all these things at you. They try to make everything still simple and still keep it like common sense. Like, yeah, everybody seems to always have like a device in their hands now, so it makes sense to just have it to where you can have like pretty much a tablet right in your hand while you play the game. So.
Right, with Nintendo, everything's in the box.
Yep.
You don't have to worry if you have a compatible phone or a compatible tablet or something. Yeah, besides their tablet thing, it was the same kind of stuff, like sports kind of stuff.
Yeah, they had like more Connect
things. They had Connect things like the Dance Central crap.
Yeah, and Usher coming out doing his performance.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty interesting how they pulled that off. But yeah, it was basically just to promote Dance Central. But yeah, I thought it was kind of goofy.
They showed Assassin's Creed, but they showed that at every show.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 3 kind of made a debut. Well, not a really debut, but pretty much made a show, like, across the board with everyone. We'll get into it later with Nintendo, but there's some Assassin's Creed stuff there. But, I don't know, Microsoft, they had things, but they weren't really nothing really, like, stood out and grabbed you, basically. It was just like another year to them. I know they showed off, I don't even know if they have a name.
It's really a, like steady as she goes kind of thing with Microsoft.
I don't even know if they had a name for it, but they had, like, some Fable game that they showed off last year that no one liked.
Yeah.
And they had more about it this year. I don't know. Oh, of course there's Halo 4. They showed some gameplay for the campaign during the press conference, and I don't know, it seemed interesting. It looks like, of course, there's going to be new enemies. The kind of like the first enemy they showed kind of reminded me of like something from Metroid Prime Hunters.
A lot of the Halo demo looked like Metroid Prime.
And it looks like you're able to get weapons that basically they like assemble themselves or something. I guess it's supposed to be the Forerunner technology. They have a shotgun that kind of like a Forerunner shotgun. I think it's called like a scatter shot. I don't know. There really wasn't anything new, it looked like, other than new surroundings and new enemies, but it still looked like your traditional Halo game. Of course, with like grenades. There's an enemy that hover around in the sky, and if you throw a grenade, it can actually catch your grenade and toss it back at you. So they even showed on the gameplay demo that if you like throw a grenade at that and it catches it, you have enough time to kill it. That way, it'll drop the grenade, and it usually hovers around the enemy that you're fighting. So yeah, they had a Halo 4. I think they showed some Black Ops 2 gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah, that looked interesting. Looks like you use vehicles in that game.
It's like future warfare or something.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like in the near future, and somebody apparently like ends up hacking all the drones, like Predator drones. They like use them to attack Los Angeles and everything. This is just like a whole bunch of like mayhem going on, and everyone's dying, and you got to go through it like it's a war zone. And you can actually, at one point, they showed that you can get into like a jet and actually fly around and blow stuff up. So they're going to have vehicles and jets and stuff like that, it looks like.
You know, Microsoft was kind of like last year. It was just, they got games, they got Gears of War, they got Halo, they got Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And most of those are probably going to be solid games, but it's kind of the same old thing.
Yeah.
You know, we'll quickly go over EA. You know, some of the standout things would be like the SimCity game that's coming out.
Yeah, I like the, yeah, it looked pretty cool to me, like the SimCity game. Like they say they're like rebooting the series or whatever, but apparently it's supposed to include multiplayer, to where everyone can kind of have their cities kind of connected, and they'll influence each other's. And it looks like it's going to be more in-depth. It'll actually look like you're running like a little city, basically, with like all the cars and people running around. And
I know EA is trying to do something where the game feels more organic or something, I think. I think they're going to try to not have it the way SimCity used to be, with so many different things to manage. Before, you would have to lay down every pipe, you'd have to lay down every wire, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the really, you know, the real little nitpicky kind of stuff is going to be out of the new game. I thought I heard something like, you know, a way to tell if your city's doing okay is by checking the people, like their moods or something. I have also heard some things like the people in the city have, you know, a certain kind of AI where, you know, like there could be a bad neighborhood or something, like, I don't know. You know, besides that, of course, like you were saying, they're trying to do the thing where it's connected, like everybody's city is connected, like on the internet, and each city will affect each other, and you could probably have imports and exports.
Yeah, like they're gonna have I don't know, like a more realistic, like it's supposed to, of course, be more like you're actually running a city and there are other cities around you that can pretty much change how your city is adapting.
Yeah, they also have SimCity Social.
Oh yeah, the Facebook game.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like Cityville, but made by EA,
Yeah,
I guess.
pretty much.
It looks exactly like Cityville.
Yeah, it's just, it does. It looks exactly like it, and it's pretty much just has the SimCity branding on it.
I'd probably move to SimCity over Cityville.
Yeah.
But I don't ever play my Cityville, so I don't really see myself running to SimCity Social right away. There was some stupid Nike thing, I thought. Like some Nike Plus thing with EA? Or was that Microsoft? Or Ubisoft? I don't know.
I don't know. It could have been EA. Yeah, it just, I don't know. Like,
I thought there was a sports game. It might have been for Connect, and they want you to use this Nike Plus thing, which is like a pedometer built into your shoe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But yeah, EA, you know, I don't know, maybe they showed some Battlefield thing.
They had Battlefield 3 DLC, apparently, that they're going to have like a whole bunch of new levels and game types and a whole bunch of stuff. Like
and they're having some freaking Battlefield 3 Premium or something.
Yeah, it's almost like Call of Duty Elite. And you'll pay for it and you'll get exclusive stuff. And
yeah, so the next conference was Ubisoft's conference. And you know, a lot of these gaming sites like IGN is saying that Ubisoft won the show. I see where they're coming from. You know, there was a lot of really good games by Ubisoft.
Yep, definitely.
You know, a couple of the standouts is, well, before we get into the big one, I wanted to say, you know, there's Rayman.
Yeah,
Rayman Legends.
Rayman Legends, which is also going to be on the, it's going to be on Wii U, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they demoed it on Wii U.
Yeah, it looks to be 4-player, is it 4-player multiplayer?
Yeah, most likely. I know Rayman Origins was 4 players.
Okay. And yeah, it just looks, it is pretty much like Rayman Origins. It just looks like it's going to be a little bit more updated, and it's supposed to be like a direct sequel to that game.
Yeah, it really looks a lot like Origins, just prettier, basically. You know, they also showed Far Cry 3, which is getting a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
You know, they had this trailer which was controversial because of the semi-nudity in it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, movies! But,
Yeah.
yeah, that is pretty interesting how they, how it seems like they're going a lot into, like insanity and like you were saying earlier, how, like there's drugs.
Yeah, they said that you can get a hold of drugs at some point and you'll hallucinate and stuff. I've
Yeah.
seen short parts of videos where that happens. Like, you know,
Yeah,
things get all colorful and
Yeah, I saw
whatnot.
one where he's like walking around and he's like, and then he's like sees it like himself pointing a gun near his head, like he's gonna kill himself.
Yeah, I missed some of those trailers, but yeah, I heard there's some weird drug trip stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, the story is your character
The
is
scenery
going crazy
looks,
on the island.
yeah, the scenery looks pretty nice. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure they were displaying it from like a PC, maybe.
Probably.
It looked really good, like most of the scenery and the island and all the trees and all that and water. But of course, Far Cry is always known for having good visuals, so
Mhm.
it's going to be pretty nice.
Yep. So, and you know, besides some stupid dancing games,
They also had a new Splinter Cell game,
oh yeah.
which Splinter Cell Blacklist, which I'm pretty psyched about because it looks like they're kind of going back to the original kind of Splinter Cell types, Splinter Cell games. Although they're keeping a lot of elements from the newer games where you can perform executions pretty easily, and it seems like there's a
Weird,
lot of like
chain attacks. Or
yeah, there's
something.
like chain attacks where you have like pretty much you run through and you can perform executions on the fly as you're like going through, and it looks pretty nice. In the newer games, Sam Fisher is pretty much he's kind of going on his own and doing his own thing, but it seems like he's back in with Third Echelon, but apparently I guess it's Fourth Echelon now is their company name that they're doing their missions in or whatever. But it looks like your traditional Splinter Cell stuff. Like he's wearing all his gear and he has all his gadgets and everything, it seems. And the demo they showed where he's like going through like some Iraq like terrorist camp or something looks pretty cool. I always thought like they needed to have those kind of missions where he goes over to like the Middle East, and they never really did have anything like that, but now they have it to where he goes in to like stop like a terrorist leader or something. But yeah, I'm pretty psyched about that game. That game's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I almost forgot about Splinter Cell. That game did look really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, you know, besides those dancing games or Just Dance or whatever, they had a new game called Watch Dogs.
Yep, and that was their big, pretty much their big title that they showed off. It's a completely new. It's kind of got the style of. I don't know if it is gonna. It probably is open world, but it seemed like it was kind of linear. It's almost like if you're playing Hitman or whatever, but you can affect pretty much any electronics. Like, well, you'll have options where you can hack people's cell phones and make them go off. That way, you can create distractions, and then you'll be able to hack like street lights. That way, you can create a car accident to to help you out in your missions and all that. And the way they were playing it, it looked really good, and it seemed like it was almost like watching a movie about how things were going on. But I think the whole premise of the idea of being able to literally just connect into anything, and and with everything being electronic and everyone having a cell phone or a device nowadays, it makes it like pretty close to realistic. And
Yeah, in the game, since everybody and every computer, every business is connected, it's actually a great weakness because of, hackers.
yeah,
And
the
this
guy,
character's some type of hacker.
yeah, the guy was using his phone to even like he'll scan with his camera, like scan people's faces, and it'll pull up information on them. And of course, your information's out there on like the internet and everything, so it's not really that insane to think about how he's able to just like, okay, that's your name and here's how much money you make and what, just all this information on you, and you can use that for your advantage in the game. And it's really cool. There are rumors that that it might be like it's supposed to be for next gen consoles, and that they're showing it off early. But I know you were saying earlier that would be cool if it was next gen. Like, yeah, it's on the Wii U, guys.
Yeah.
And because I wouldn't put it past, especially like Ubisoft, because they're pretty close. They're a pretty good third party for Nintendo, and I could see it eventually ending up on the Wii U or whatever. Especially with the tablet you can use to for like your menus and all that for doing things. So that definitely works.
Yeah, Watch Dogs could do a lot with that, with the Wii U gamepad. The way Nintendo talks, you would think it'd be for Wii U. Nintendo would lead you to believe that the Wii U is more powerful than the current systems, and, so that would be pretty interesting if that game was, like a Wii U exclusive. Or at least Wii U and PC exclusive or something.
Yeah, and another thing they showed at the end of that demo was it was pretty cool how it kind of switched from the player that you were playing over to like a whole nother character that you took control of. Yeah,
at the end of the demo, in a way, they revealed that there's multiple people in the game that are like the character they showed.
Multiple characters that you can control throughout the story, it seems.
So, maybe you might, maybe you would control a character, and maybe something like, maybe if they ended up getting killed or something, you would just pick a different guy who's a part of this thing, like almost like it's like anonymous or something like that.
Yeah.
And, well, I know one thing about like anonymous that they say it's really hard for the government to battle is there's no there's no figurehead, and there's
no like person in charge of it.
There's no rankings, and there's no top dogs or anything, and no chain of command. And that'd be cool if in that game it was kind of like that. Like you would end up sacrificing people for like the greater good or something like that, and then other people who are for the same cause, you would just control them.
Yeah, that game's gonna be really amazing. Yeah, that's pretty much why people say Ubisoft won, was because of that Watch Dogs, basically, they showed off.
Yeah, definitely. Watch Dogs is a brand new game, and you don't see that much these days.
Yeah, I suggest going on like YouTube or something, or you can actually... I don't know if we have a link through our Facebook, but at our Generation Catalano Facebook page, I know I put an article on there about Watch Dogs and how it's possibly the best thing that is at E3. I don't know if it's a link over to Kotaku. Yeah, it looks like they do have a video of it. So yeah, you can actually, if you want to actually check it out, you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Generation Catalano. You'll find the article for Watch Dogs. Just click that. It'll take you to Kotaku. Yeah, and then next to wrap up the day, this is day one of E3, was Sony's was the last for that day. Sony, let's see, they had a lot. They did a lot more with the PSP.
Well, the Vita.
Yeah, PSP Vita. They showed off like Assassin's Creed 3.
For Vita?
For Vita. It's supposed to be... It looks like it's supposed to be another story that's set in the setting of Assassin's Creed 3. But it looks like you play as like a black chick, like a slave.
I remember the trailer. That was unique because it was a girl.
They had that. They had... They didn't really do much with the Move other than that stupid book thing.
Yeah, they had something called Wonder Book or something, and they have some J.K. Rowling story coming out.
Harry Potter thing or something, I don't know.
Yeah, where they like talk about Harry Potter spells and make jokes
Yeah.
about her own story or something.
Yeah, they didn't. It really didn't seem like they put much of an emphasis on the move. It seems like they're kind of breaking away
Yeah.
from that.
Well, I don't know. I would really think that the move's practically dead by now.
Yeah.
I know the Kinect definitely gets supported a lot more than Move.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think a lot more games would have Move support, and they just don't. And that thing's been out for a while now.
More than a year. They had their what is it, PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
Yeah, they announced that it's also gonna come out for Vita,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna let you, you know, fight across the Vita and the PS3. Yeah, they did a little demo, and
Yeah, they
it
had,
looks a lot like Smash.
Yeah, their little gameplay demo. They had people come out on the stage and they were playing it. And yeah, it looks like you basically you just charge up your attack gauge or whatever they're going to call it. You charge it up. I think you have like 3 different levels of an ultra move. If you want to perform like a level 1 ultra move, you just have to fill up the bar once. But you can actually just sit there and keep building it up, and then you'll get a more powerful ultra move that you can pull off. Guess the people that you kill with that's how many points you get. Yeah, and it's going to be timed, right? Like almost every match. I don't know if they're going to have you have lives.
Yeah, I don't know. I would expect there'd be options if it is a lot like Smash Brothers.
Yeah, they should be smart about it and include something like that, because I know not everyone likes timed matches.
Sony's also trying to use their Vita like it, you know, like the Wii U. They want you to hook the Vita to the PS3 and use it as a controller, and include the touchscreen and the motion technology. They talked about Little Big Planet 2 having an update which will allow you to use the Vita as a controller. I wonder if they'll let you use the touchscreen to edit stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll probably let you use the camera.
Yeah, seems like both Microsoft and Sony are trying to imitate the Wii U. Almost like it's pretty much what we've seen before with how they came out with their motion controls because of the Wii. So they're going to try to be like Wii U this time, and because they saw how well the Wii sold.
It's just like it usually is with Nintendo. Like they had joysticks on their controllers, and then Sony did it, and they also had the motion controls and everything. I don't know. I wonder if it's just Sony and Microsoft trying to cover all bases in a way, because they don't want Nintendo to be able to say we have this and Microsoft doesn't. So
it is kind of like it is. Of course, it all boils down to it's business, and we got to keep up to date with what the competitor is doing. And they'll see what the other person's doing, and they'll try to work that into their business strategies, and that way that way they don't have a disadvantage at all.
Yeah, it's interesting when stuff like that happens, where it's not always the case where the best technology is what the companies are trying to have. They're competing with each other, and if the trend is touchscreens, then they're gonna try to have touchscreens.
And that's how Nintendo's always going to be setting the standard, because they don't really work that way. They do their own thing. They think their own way, and they work outside of their own box. They take Sony and Microsoft seriously, of course, because that's just how you run a business. But the way they do it themselves, their own certain way, and then that actually works out for them. It sells for them, and then that makes Microsoft and Sony want to take notice. They start doing a lot of things that are very similar to what Nintendo's doing. But I know Sony showed off God of War.
I think it's another prequel.
Yeah, I think it's a prequel to it's not God of War 4. I think it's like God of War or something. I don't really remember the name, but
I don't remember.
To me personally, I didn't really like how it it looked at all. It looked like a Disney movie to me. Like, it looked like a computer animated movie you'd see with your kids in like July or something, like Madagascar or some Rio or Rango or something. Because I don't know, it just looked weird. And I know at the end of the demo, they showed him beating up on like this elephant guy, and it gets pretty like messed up because he like grabs him and starts stabbing the swords like right in his head, and then he just like splits his head open and there's his brain. And it's just really off-putting because that elephant looks like something you would see from like Ice Age or something. So it's like he's doing that to that mammoth from Ice Age or something. So I don't know. And then of course the elephant's screaming its ass off. So I don't know. I didn't really see anything that stood out with God of War that made it like, oh, yay. Because I know back in like a few E3s ago when they announced God of War 3, everyone was crazy about that. Everyone's getting their full of God of War lately, so.
Yeah, there's been a lot of God of Wars, including the PSP games. I would say that was pretty much it for Sony.
I don't know. They never really showed this at the conferences. I was disappointed with, but I know another game that they're saying is probably just a next gen game is that Star Wars 1313. I know that's the title of it, but it looks really nice. I didn't really see any. I've only seen like a few screenshots of it. I haven't really seen any like gameplay footage yet. I think you play as like a bounty hunter or something in that game. I don't know. I don't really have much detail on it, but no, it's it's Star Wars 1313 is what it's called. I'm pretty sure there's videos on YouTube. That game looks pretty nice. Not really sure what else they had at Sony's conference.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking that we should probably move on to the next one.
Probably move on to Nintendo.
Yep.
Yeah, the next day, day 2, they kicked off with Nintendo's press conference. Of course, before E3, they had their Nintendo Direct event on Sunday where they announced some things about the Wii U. And then during their show, they had more things for Wii U, and they had some 3DS games. They had their little, they showed off Pikmin 3. They've got finally an update to the Pikmin series. Pikmin 3 on the Wii U. That's how they kicked off their conference. They showed that little thing with Miyamoto in the dressing room or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, let me pick this jacket." And he put on this jacket that these little Pikmin were running around on, and one of them fell in his pocket, and he saw like, wasn't there like a little leaf sticking out? He's like, "Huh?" Or whatever, and then he comes out on stage with it sticking out of his pocket, and so then he goes on and talks about Wii U. Of course, they had a translator out there because Miyamoto is not very good with English. Yeah. But it was pretty funny because the game itself looks a little better, but I don't know. It doesn't really look as good as I think it should, especially for the Wii U.
It definitely looks better than the GameCube games, but it still looks pretty similar though.
Yeah, it just looks like a slightly better version of Pikmin 2. I don't know. It would be. Apparently, isn't 4-player co-op in there?
Yeah, most likely. If it's not 4 players, then it's you switch between 4 characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course they'll have like the map down on the touch screen.
Miyamoto was demonstrating the fact that it works with the gamepad or the Wii remote and nunchuck, depending on how you feel like playing.
But yeah, it looked pretty cool. At the end of the Pikmin 3 demo, Miyamoto pulled like the little Pikmin thing out of his pocket. It was like a little stuffed plushy Pikmin thing. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Whoa, look at this." It almost like threw it out to the crowd, but then he didn't. Yeah. I thought that was a bitch move for him to do. Like, you should have just thrown that out there so someone could grab it. But he's like, "No, it's mine."
Yeah, he likes Pikmin too much. I think it's just because it's like the last franchise he thought of.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to go out on, kids.
It's like, besides the Mii's, it's like that's the last thing he's really done for Nintendo. Mm-hmm. When it comes to anything new. I saw some video where he talked about Pikmin 3, and it went into like a creepy kind of like way, where he was like, Pikmin are so small, they could be anywhere. It's almost like they're all over my house.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
Yeah, he did that at the E3 show. He's like, they could be anywhere, even out there with you. And then they showed like people like sitting out on the stage or sitting out in the audience, and then they'll show a little generated Pikmin around them, and then they're like, oh wow, look at that, whatever.
You know what I just thought of though? I wonder if there's any connection between Pikmin and the Picori from what's the game?
Minish Cap.
From Minish Cap.
Yeah.
Because they try to say that the Picori are these little things that place all the hearts and the rupees in and under buckets and stuff in Zelda.
Yeah. Maybe.
And maybe,
I'm sure they're
a similar idea for Pikmin, where they're so little and everything, they could be hiding under stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure they have some correlation.
I know the name is kind of similar.
Yeah, Pikmin and Picori.
And I think the Picori have a little leaf on their head or something like that.
Oh,
or
yeah.
they have the tails.
They're
like the weird little rat tails or something.
Yeah, they're kind of
Reminds me
similar
of
like
Pikmin.
that.
But,
yeah, they showed Pikmin 3. Then what I thought was interesting, they didn't have Iwata wasn't there at all. They just did like Reggie was the main runner of the show, and I guess that makes sense because of course Reggie is president of Nintendo of America, and it is based in America. The E3 is, so
yeah.
They showed a lot of third-party games actually that are coming out for the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
They were emphasizing that they have third-party support. Games like apparently Mass Effect 3 is supposed to be coming to the Wii U. They're gonna have Batman Arkham City, but it's called like Armored Edition or something like that. But it still looks like it is pretty much Arkham City, but it looks like it's going to have new features in it. Like apparently Batman has a new suit that can charge up, and the more he gets hurt, I think the more he can like charge up like really super attacks. He can deliver more damage. But it does look like they're going to have the whole Arkham City game in it. So it's not going to be just a simplified version of Arkham City. But yeah, they had Arkham City, and then they had of course Assassin's Creed 3. They're going to have for the Wii U. And me and Josh actually just watched some gameplay for the Wii U game, and it pretty much looks just like the other systems, like the 360 version.
Yeah.
So the game's going to be pretty awesome.
With Assassin's Creed, there hasn't really been any announcements on how it's going to utilize the gamepad. It may, it's not like every game has to use the gamepad, so they could just say it's for the, like the Classic Pro or whatever it's called. But they didn't show that. But with Arkham Asylum, they showed some stuff.
Arkham City.
Arkham City, where like you can look around a map, or you can do almost like an X-ray vision kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can shoot projectiles and follow them on the gamepad.
Yeah, you can control like a remote batarang with the gamepad. Yeah, they have all kinds of different things they added into that game. Let's see. There is the one game, Lego Undercover City. Seems pretty interesting. I might look into getting that for the Wii U. Apparently they say it pretty much is just like Grand Theft Auto. You don't, of course, go around shooting people and beating people up, because you're basically a cop, but you can go around this whole city that's it's all Legos and everything, and you get missions, and you can of course like drive vehicles around and everything, but it looked really good too, like the gameplay and everything, and the visuals look really nice.
Yeah, and they're trying to have like a humorous style to the game.
Yeah, it looked like they're going to add like a lot of interesting humor into it. Like I was watching this one cutscene where like I guess these clowns were robbing a bank or something, and the cops are like pulling up, like we gotta stop them, and then like one of the clowns like had like the little flower that they have that squirts water or whatever. Like he goes up to the cop, and the cop's is like, duh, and just starts smelling it. He's like spraying him in the face. He's like, oh, it was like really stupid. And then like one of the cops is like, one of the clowns was like carrying money out of the bank, and then he goes up to the cop and like goes to shake his hand. The cop, of course, like stupidly shakes his hand and like gets shocked or something. I don't know. So yeah, they're gonna have like weird humor in that game.
When they talked about some of their third-party stuff, they blew by a few games in this like a showcase kind of trailer thing.
Mm-hmm.
They had, Darksiders 2 still.
Darksiders 2, yeah.
Yeah, and there's some other game called Tanks or something.
Yeah, I don't know what that game's all about.
I don't know either, but it's a new announcement for the Wii U.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they of course they also had new Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. U, or is it Wii U or?
Yeah, it's U.
Okay, but yeah, they're gonna have pretty much it's their Mario Bros. For the Wii U basically. So yeah. I know they showed the only thing I can really remember distinctively from that game was that they showed like a new suit, which looked like you can become like a flying squirrel or something.
Yeah.
That kind of like glides through the air.
Yeah, there's a flying squirrel suit. I'm not sure if that's going to be on the Wii U or the 3DS though.
I saw it on the Wii U one.
Okay.
Mm.
I know it must be the 3DS one that has the raccoon
Yeah,
tail.
the 3DS one has the raccoon suit again. I know we talked about that a couple episodes back, but yeah, they're going to have the raccoon suit, the original one from Super Mario Bros. 3. Yeah, so they showed off new Super Mario Bros. U. Of course, they also had 3DS games that they showed. Of course, they showed new Super Mario Bros. 2, which is the 3DS one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one with the raccoon suit. And they have a huge emphasis on getting coins in that game.
Yeah.
Basically, they're going to have they have golden flowers that you'll get where you can basically shoot stuff and it will turn into coins. And it's basically you run through a level and you basically see how many coins you can get in that level, and that's pretty much the whole premise of it. So there's going to be a lot of like ding 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 while you're playing the game because there's going to be just coins everywhere. But that's
I thought about that.
That's some of the cool stuff though. Is cause I know back in the day everyone's always like, well, look at all these coins when you play like Mario, and so people, I guess they think of stuff like that, and that's why they, I guess, put it in that game where it's like, hey, look, kids, you can have all these coins in every level, and I don't know, it's kind of feeds the greed.
Yeah, it's funny though, because they really are like having Mario join like the greed characters or something, because like Wario has always coins and treasure, and then like Luigi's Mansion was loaded with coins and money.
Mm-hmm.
And jewels and stuff. That was a big part of Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
So Mario's going to be getting them coins.
Yeah, and they showed, of course, like you said, Luigi's Mansion. They've got Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, as it's called on the 3DS. They showed a lot of that, I think. I feel like they showed too much, it seems, but I don't know. The game seems interesting. It looks like it's going to look pretty good on the 3DS. Are they going to have a demo of that game?
I think so. There's, I'm trying to remember what game they said that they were going to have a demo.
I think they're going to have a demo for Kingdom Hearts, actually.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have one for Kingdom Hearts. That's what they said at the conference.
That's going to be cool. They're going to have a demo for, the Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. That'll be nice, because I'm actually kind of on the fence about that game. I don't know if I want to get it or not. It's supposed to be coming out in July, but it'll be nice to play a demo first.
Yeah.
But yeah, Luigi's Mansion, I know one of the things they announced was that new Super Mario Bros. 2 and Luigi's Mansion will be downloadable. And I'm pretty glad that they're doing that, that Nintendo's actually taking the initiative and pretty much putting their games on the eShop. Because I know I never really go out to go get games that often, and I would like to have the chance to maybe just like one day just come home and be like, you know what, I've got some money, I'm going to buy a game, and then I just go on the eShop and like, oh, here's new Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah.
I'll just download it, you know. So.
Yeah. I download a lot of games. I'm more likely to spend the money on your download than than making the whole plan of going to the store and buying a game.
Exactly.
It's a big difference between just like browsing the eShop and planning things out like that, like actually going to a store.
Yeah, and so that'll be nice having both. I'm gonna plan on getting both of those games downloaded.
Yeah, apparently that's going to be Nintendo's thing, is starting with new Mario Brothers. Nintendo first-party titles are going to be downloadable, and I guess any third parties that want to join are going to be there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is another game that they showed?
Well, I know another third-party game was a game called Zombie U.
Oh, yeah.
And that was another Ubisoft game, which they did show at their conference, I think.
Yeah, they showed it at their conference, Zombie U, and then they had more at the Nintendo conference. Basically, I don't know, I didn't really see much gameplay on it. I know I saw that trailer that they had.
Everything they showed really looked set up or something. But I did hear that there was a demo on the show floor, and the game does look like the trailer.
Wow, that is pretty crazy. Because, yeah, the trailer does look pretty pre-rendered.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody on IGN was saying that it's the first game they played that looked like it was a game that was next gen, like a game that couldn't be done on the 360 or PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Zombie U is just a zombie game, and you'll use the gamepad and the touchscreen to do different things.
Yeah, the touchscreen will act as like an inventory sack, and as you're digging around in it, the game will still be running in real time. So your character will like drop his bag and go through it while you're messing around with your inventory on the screen. But also there's going to be a lot of the different features, like the motion features in the game, where you'll look around with the gamepad. And I know, like, let's see, they had all kinds of different other things. Like they're basically showing you that like the gamepad itself for the Wii U is everything you need to survive, and then they give you the game. Like they give you like here's here's all these zombies everywhere, so do what you can.
Yeah, and it's kind of similar to how Arkham City is.
Yeah.
Because it has similar like X-ray type of stuff and radar type of stuff with the screen on the gamepad, and there's probably other motion things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like already there's games that are kind of like similar. Kind of like with the DS. Most games would just use the bottom screen for a map, or the top screen maybe. But they'd use one for a map or menus, and the other was the game. And like, it's probably like there's probably over 60% of games that are like that. But it's interesting to see the Wii U is already getting like, similar patterns.
Yeah. Also, another 3DS game that they showed off that I'm interested in getting is the Paper Mario game.
Oh yeah.
I forgot the complete name for it.
It's called Sticker Star.
Sticker Star, yeah, Paper Mario Sticker Star or something like that. But instead of like your regular attacks that you always have and getting, it's still going to be similar, of course, to Paper Mario and everything and how you play the game. But instead, this time around, as you go through the game, you'll collect these stickers. That you'll actually use for attacks. Like you'll collect hammer stickers and like stickers of boots that you'll use, and those stickers, like the boot stickers, they would be like your jump attack, and you'll use that sticker to do a jump attack, or you'll use that hammer to do a hammer attack, and there'll be all kinds of different types of stickers. And then of course you'll get like a sticker book, and you'll keep all your stickers in. And if you don't have enough room on the page for your sticker, you can't you have to make room for it, or you can't keep it or whatever. I don't know what they're going to do, but another thing that looked pretty cool is how they had like real life objects in that game. Like I saw something how there was like a fan or whatever, like a little electric fan.
They said you'd be finding real life looking objects to manipulate the world.
Yeah, and you could turn those things into stickers too if you want to have them for like attacks. But yeah, there'll be a lot of that. So I always liked the Paper Mario games. I never really played the second one, and I haven't played the one on the Wii, but I played the one on the 64. And I liked that one. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, the 64 one is pretty good. I'm still trying to beat that game. I play it here and there on my Wii.
Yeah, I think I did eventually beat it. I think I have beaten it, but yeah, I would like to play A 1,000-Year Door or something like that. Is that the GameCube one?
Yeah. That one's pretty good. The only problem is it gets kind of long. Well, like the intro is way too long.
Oh, yeah.
There's reading for like it's probably like an hour or something. And just like, what was it? Super Paper Mario on the Wii had a really long intro.
Yeah. So yeah, there was that, and
yeah, I don't know. I would think that's most of what Nintendo had. I mean,
yeah, they didn't really have like anything completely brand new that we didn't know about going in, but of course they showed off a lot for the Wii U. Of course, we don't have a release date or a price yet.
Yeah.
They did show like the black Wii U. I know for a while they showed that the Wii U was white, but then they had black systems there, didn't they? Like at the E3 show. I think I might end up getting like a black one actually. But I don't know. Yeah, they showed off a lot of Wii U. They had a software showcase eventually, but they pretty much showed off everything that they've been shown off at the
for the 3DS.
For the 3DS, basically. I don't think they had anything new other than like that Castlevania Mirror of Fate game for the 3DS. That was probably their only real thing that they showed off that was new, but they had a lot of games, and they had a lot about the Wii U, so I don't think it was a bust. People think, oh yeah, there was Nintendo Land for the Wii U. Yeah. That was a big thing that they showed off. But of course, see how we didn't even remember it. That's because that isn't really memorable, that thing.
Yeah.
Everyone didn't like it or whatever, but
yeah, Reggie in an interview said that it's just the new Wii Sports for Wii U.
Yeah, basically.
Or like Wii Sports Resort would probably be, like if you're splitting hairs, it's probably closer to that.
They're not saying that it's going to be bundled in with the system yet, but
Yeah.
And I don't think it is. I don't actually see that being. It might be bundled in with the system, but
It's hard to tell at this point.
yeah.
Probably depends on how much games are going to be ready by the time the system comes out.
But yeah, the whole thing about Nintendo Land is, yeah, it's supposed to be like the Wii Sports of Wii U, and it's supposed to have different games from different Nintendo games. Like there'll be a Zelda type game that you can play with your Miis. There'll be like a Donkey Kong type game, a Mario type game, all kinds of different games like that you'll play. Yeah, that was their thing that they closed off with their show with the Wii U, and people, I guess, were kind of like off put from that. But I don't know. I don't think they had a bad show at all. I think their show was pretty solid. So.
I think that overall, I mean, I think Nintendo's show is definitely the one getting the most talk, because of the new controller and all that. And besides, Nintendo's pretty controversial these days with the Wii, and Nintendo makes really strange decisions about some of the games that come out and some of the things they do with their consoles.
Yeah.
And that's definitely continuing with the Wii U. So, once again, it was Nintendo at E3 that was the most talked about. I think, people would say that the winner of the show would probably be Ubisoft, just because of the quality games they have.
Yeah.
And the big new game, Watch Dogs.
Yeah, that would be my top pick for E3 that we saw. Another, I'm kind of disappointed that I forgot to talk about this, but during Sony's conference, they also had gameplay for The Last of Us, or whatever. That was pretty
I missed
good.
some of that.
It was pretty amazing what they showed. So, it was. The game looks really nice, and it really does look like you're playing like pretty much a real life post-apocalyptic game. So, but yeah, Watch Dogs and The Last of Us, those were my two big ones that I liked from E3.
Yeah. I guess, maybe, I don't know, what I would say my favorite thing is, the Wii U, or, my favorite game would probably just, it would probably have to be one of the whatever's coming out, like Mario or Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah. But yeah, E3 2012, it was an alright show. There wasn't really anything spectacular.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad at all either, so on both ends, but so that's about it, I guess.
So, yeah, that's it for this episode. Well, we hope to see you guys next week. See ya.
See you later.